Hi guys, this is Umair back with another UWP tutorial. In this tutorial, I will talk about Adoptive UI in XAML, but I will be using Visual Studio Blend this time. I have already created a video in which I have shown you that how to create Adoptive UI that works for desktop and mobile as well. But in this video, I will talk about how to use this expression blend in order to create adaptive user interface. Alright, so I will use a built-in tools right here to create the triggers and to detect whether we are running our app on desktop or mobile app, and according to that I'll be fixing out and position my different elements according to the screen size and the device which we are running our application on. So this is my Visual Studio. Just created an empty project inside it and named my project Adoptive UI Blend. And in order to open this project in Blend, just right click on the main page.xaml and click on design in Blend, just like this, and it will open up a Visual Studio Blend and open up this main page.xaml file right here inside the Blend. Alright, and inside it we can also drag different elements from here, but I'll be writing different elements inside it. We can navigate to design view right here and the XAML view at the bottom. Alright, and I will be creating and writing few elements, but I will not be writing code for its adoption. If we are running our application on desktop or mobile, I'll be adopting its positioning with the help of this states triggering on the left side. Alright, so inside my grid element I need to create a few elements. So I will first start with the grid dot row definitions, and inside it I will create row definition height auto. Alright, I will create 2 rows, in fact 3 rows. So let's copy and paste it 2 more times, and I will change the height value to static in the 3rd row definition, and I'll come out this row definition from here. Alright, and after that I need to create a stack panel grid dot row 0, and the next property margin is 20. I need to give it a name as well, so the name would be my stack panel, and vertical alignment top, horizontal alignment not holding, it's horizontal alignment, that is center. Alright, so let's change it to left. Alright, and let's close this stack panel, and inside this stack panel I need to create 2 labels and 2 text boxes. Text block, and I need to give it a property text, and I'm going to give it name. Alright, the next property is the font size, that has to be 25, let's say, and the next property is text wrapping, and that is wrap. Alright, and the next element that I want to create is the text box, because I want to write something inside it. So I will give it text, and I will give it, I don't need any text inside it, instead I want to give it a name, and let's give it a name as a name. Okay, so the next property that I want to give it is the width, that is 400, and font size is 25, and I need to give it margin, and the margin would be 10 from left and 0 from all the 4 sides. Okay, and the last thing is the background alias blue. So let's close it. Alright, and now let's copy this stack panel, and I want to paste it again just below the previous stack panel, and I want to change its name stack panel 2, and the row has to be 1, and margin is 20, that's fine. Vertical alignment top and horizontal alignment left, that is fine. And I want to give it, this is the name, and this has to be, let's say, a phone number. All right, and I want to change the name of my text box to phone as well. All right, and up till now I think that's pretty much fine. Now let's go to the design view and see what we have in our design view. Okay, so just click right here and click on fit all, and this is our design that we have just created. All right, it's pretty much on the left side. Actually, let's go to our XAML view, and I want to copy this margin property and add this margin property to my text blocks as well. All right, let's save it and go to design view. You can see the labels of our text block have been moved towards the right side because I have added the margin towards left side, and this change automatically occurs in our Visual Studio as well. If we make any change in Visual Studio, that change reflect in Visual Studio Blend. You can see that all these changes have brought up in my Visual Studio, and if I make any change inside it, that will be reflected inside our Blend. So we have created our interface. Now I need to change its positions. What I want to do, I want to change the name and its text box at one row. All right, the name should be on the left side of this particular text box when we are running our application in desktop. All right, and on mobile I want my name and its text box to be vertically aligned. The name should be like this, that we are just looking at it right now. All right, on the desktop it would come towards the left side of this text block. This is just for illustration purpose. You can have different elements that you can adopt according to your requirement. All right, so on the left side, make sure you analyze this grid. We can also analyze this grid. We have a grid, we have two stack panels with a name, and inside each stack panel we have a text block and our name, our text block, and the second text stack panel have the same elements as its children. And at the top we can see that we have a solution explorer just like Visual Studio, and we have assets, and inside the assets we have different elements that we can drag and drop onto our UI, but that will not be a good practice. That is not a recommended practice to drag and drop elements, because they will have its default margins applied to those elements, and that is difficult to add and change the margins of those elements. So just create and write the XAML inside the grid by your own. So inside the states, I will create the state triggers. Now on the left side we have a states window. So inside the states window I need to click on this add state group, and if I click on it, we know that we have created a visual state group, and under this we have a default transition that is of 0 second. So let's keep it a 0 second. Now I need to create different states. What we are targeting in our application, we are basically targeting two main devices. We can have further devices like mobile, desktop and tablet, but in this tutorial I'll just show you that how to create states for different two main devices, that is mobile and desktop. So I'll click on this add state, and it has created a new visual state, and I will change its name to mobile. All right, and I will click on it again, and it has created another state, and I will name its change to desktop. All right, and these are the two states that I'll be working with inside it. The red dot appear with each state reflects that we are making changes on our UI that will reflect to the state that have a red icon on the left side of it. So anything that I will change, that will reflect on the desktop state. If I click on mobile, now anything that I will change to the UI will reflect on the mobile state. All right, so now let's click on desktop state. Now we need to add, we know that in my last video Adoptive UI showed you that we need to create the minimum width, maximum width and minimum height and maximum height. I'll just take care of the minimum width. that if the width of screen is that much, then it means that we are running our application on mobile. And if the width of screen is that much, width of screen is greater than the height of screen, it means we are running our application in desktop, and mobile the width is less than the height. Okay, so let's click on desktop, and I'll click on this particular icon, edit adoptive triggers. All right, I'll click on it, and it has opened up a window, and I'll click on this add, and it has shown me two basic properties, min window height and min window width. I will just use the min window width for working with adoptiveness. So I will just change its value to 800. It means that if the width of our screen is greater than 800, then it means that we are running our application on the desktop. Alright, if it's less than 800, then we are not running our application on desktop. And I will click on OK. Alright, and the same I will click on mobile, and I will click on this icon, and I'll click on add, and I will change its min width, and I will leave it to 0. It means that if the width of our screen is greater than equal to 0 and less than equals to 800, that is the width of desktop, it means that we are running our application on mobile phones. All right, and we can also vary these values, but I'll go with it. I'll click OK. So we have added our min width and min height for our mobile and desktop. I'll save this project, and if I go to my XAML view, you can see that we have a code written inside our grid element. That's pretty much difficult to write directly in XAML, so it's easy if you write this bunch of code on your blend. Okay, so now let's navigate to our design view. Now we need to change its UI. If you are running your application on desktop, then this name, the label, and the text box should come on the same row, on the same line. On the mobile, it should look similar to like this. All right, so now on the left side we have a objects and timeline window. Let's click on first stack panel. All right, and I will choose this stack panel for the mobile. All right, and on the right side you can see we have different properties for this particular element that we have selected on objects and timeline window. All right, so on this stack panel, if we go to the bottom, we can see that we have the orientation property right here. Right now it has set to vertical. That's pretty much fine, because on mobile we want this name and text box to be on the vertical orientation. Okay, so that's pretty much fine for our mobile. Okay, and now on the stack panel 2, I will go to my orientation, and all right, actually I needed to select something from here. Actually it is selected to mobile, and I'll click on stack panel 1. Everything that I will make changes to this stack panel from this property, that will only reflect to the state that has a red icon on the left side of it. So the vertical orientation will affect on the mobile because that is selected. Before selecting the my stack panel 2, I need to click on desktop. Okay, and click on my stack panel 2. Okay, and on the right side I need to change its orientation to horizontal to bring my label and the text box on the same line. So I will change its verticality to the horizontal. All right, and I'll click on stack panel first, this one, and I will change it horizontal as well. All right, because we selected the desktop right here. On the mobile, we know that our stack panel, this has set to the verticality, and my stack panel 2 has set to vertical as well. So on the desktop we have this UI, on the mobile we have this UI. All right, let's save our project, and I'm gonna run my project and decrease the size of my screen to see if that actually make change in our application or not. So let's click on local machine. So right now our application has been started, and I think that the width of my screen is greater than 800. That's why these are being shown on the same row. if I decrease the size of my, so you can see that our UI has been changed, and if I increase it, and this is the desktop state. We can also change the values of min width and min height, but this is just for illustration purpose, and you can also apply these changes on other elements as well. So I hope that you have got the idea of how to use Visual Studio Blend for creating the adaptive user interface for mobile and desktop or any other device that can be tablet or any sized device. So make sure to subscribe my channel for more videos and like this video. Thanks for watching.